The next thing that we want to do over here is learn about the assignment operator, and for that I have already created an assignment operator, the dart file, and also created a main method. So you can just go and create it, and let us look into the assignment operator. So first of all, I'll just say a var and a which is of equals to 10 plus the 5, and now you can see there we are actually using assignment operator of equals. And here what is actually we are doing is, in the right hand side we have some expression that is saying 10 plus 5, or you may have a different expression over here. But on the left hand side we have some operand that is a variable of a, and this right hand side will be assigned to our left hand side. So always when we use a equals operator over here and the assignment operator of equals, what happens is the right hand side will be assigned to our left hand side. So whatever you have in your right hand side, that is expression, and then that will be assigned to our left hand side, which has operand, or whatever you have on the left hand side. So you have already used this a lot of time, but you may not know that is actually assignment operator. And then next we will see about the add and the assign operator. So let's say we have a variable of b, and which has the value of let's say 20 over here. And now if I go, and let me also try to print out this one first of all. So this will say assignment operator, and that is of equals, right? And then we'll just print out the value of the a. And for this one, what we'll do is we have a variable b, and it has a value of 20. And let us make use of print out. And over here, I'll just say add and assign. And add and assign use we have a plus sign and then equals. This is the, and let me just, so add and assign has this operator plus equals. And then for that, what we can use is, let me use a string interpolation over here, and let us say that we have a variable of a b. So if I say b over here, and then let's say plus equals to, then if I say add another, let's say 2 into 5. So what does it actually does is, now it is going to add whatever this 2 into 5 is 2 into 5 is a 10, and 10 plus 20 is a 30, and that will be assigned to the variable of the b again. So it's actually writing a similar way of, we can say that b, and which is of equals to, we can say b plus, we just say 2 into 5. So this actually is the same thing that we are doing over here. B, variable b is of equals to b plus 2 into 5. So here we are doing the same thing over here. And if you just go and run this one, you can see that we get a 30, because 2 into 5 is of a 10, and then again it is adding a 20. So that is adding a 20, and then we get a variable, or the b has a value of a 30. So the next thing that we are going to see is about the another one, print, and we have a subtract and assign. So subtract and assign, so that has a value, we can make use of operator of a minus and equals. So here we'll just make use of directly string interpolation, and I'll just create a variable. I think let us create a different variable, and for that I'll just say, let's say x1, which has a value of 5. And now I can just say x1 that we have, right? x1, and then minus, which is of minus, then I'll just say equals to, and then let's say 2, or any value that you want to give over here. So x1, okay, so I need to say a var. So now it is actually the same thing that we write as x1, which is equals to x1 minus minus the value of the 2. So this is the same thing that we are doing over here. So this is, you are writing a bit long, but here we have make use of a shorthand, or we have used as assignment operator of the minus equals. So this will do the same thing that it is doing as it is over here. So if you run this one, you get a 3 over here. 5 minus 2 is a 3. And then let's say a var of x2, let's say, which has a value of a 10. And then we have a print out over here. And let's see, we will use a multiply and the assign at the same time. So multiply and the assign. So that we will use a asterisk and equals to sign operator. And let me create a string interpolation over here. And for that, we will just go and say that we have a x2, right, which is of equals asterisk and multiplied and equals to, let's say, a 2 over here. Now if you go and print out this one, you will see that we have a multiply and assign. It gets a 20 because 10 into 2 is of the 20 that we have. So similarly, we have other, let's say, of our x3 that we can just go and make use. Let's say value of a 10 again, and then we will just print out and we'll just say that this is a divide and assign. So divide and assign at the same time. So we'll just say make use of division sign and the equals to sign over here. And let's use a string interpolation. And for that, we will just say that the x3 that we have, and that is divide and equals to the value that we get from, let's say, of a 2 over here. And then this is actually requires a double. So this is, you can see that it has an int, and here it is actually requires a double, because when you divide it, the return type is always of double. So for that, what we need to do is we have to make use this one as a double, and then that should be okay. And if you run that one, we can get 2.5 over here. The division is 2.5. And the same thing that we have to do of var, and let's see, create a x4 variable which has a value of a 10, and then we will just print out over here. And this is also a divide and assign, but it has a return type of the integer as we saw previously. So divide and assign, and we use the same. So we have a tilde operator over here. So tilde or tilde or something, whatever you want to call that one, I think it's a tilde, and then we have a equals to sign. And let us make use of a string interpolation, and over here we'll just say x4 that we have, and then we will use a tilde operator and divide and equals to let's say divide by the 2 again over here. So this time we get a output as the type output is of the int type. So if you run there, we get a 5. That's correct. And then let's say var, and I have another x5 which is of equals to, let's say, a value of 20. And then we will, let's give a 10 over here. And then we will just go and print out this one. And for this one, we'll use a mod, or the modular sign over here, modulus. So what we'll do is, I'll just say a mod over here, mod and a sign which has the sign of the percentage and equals, so more than a sign at the same time. So let us create a string interpolation, and inside here we'll just make use of x5 that we have, and just the modulus sign and equals, and then we will just say divided by the 3. So whatever the remainder that we will get over here. So that should give us the 1 remainder. Yeah. So when 3 is divided by 10, we get the remainder of the 1. And then let's create another one of the var x6, which just has the value of the 5. And then we will just make use of the left shift and the right shift over here. So first of all, we'll just make use of the print, and I'll just say left shift and assign, So that will be of the left shift less than 2 times. So this is the operand that we are actually going to use, and equals to. So here we will use a string interpolation again, and let me create a string interpolation, and inside here we'll just say we have a x6 and then left shift 2 times less than arrow and equals to, and I'll just say shift 1 time. So this will actually go and shift the binary or the bit shifting. So this is a bit difficult to understand if you are not sure about the bits and the bytes. So let us just try to assign it, and we'll just go and run it. So you get a 10. So it's actually shifting your bits to the one on the shift the bits to the 1 by the on the your left side. Or you can also say it adds the 0 at the end of your whatever value you have, right? So this is all about shifting a bit. So if you are not familiar, don't worry about it. We are not going to use actually. So I'm just trying to show you over here, but it's really seldomly used in the Flutter development. So I have another 7 over here, and let's say I have a value of a 10, and for that one I'll just copy this one. I think just copy and paste it, and this one is of this shift to the right. So right shift and assign, and that will be of the greater than sign 2 times and equals to, and here we have to use a greater than sign 2 times, and this will be of a x7, right? And if I go and run it, you will get it 5 again, because previously when we shifted it to the left, right, and then the value was changed to the 10, but then again we shift it over here for the x7. X7 has a value of a 10, and then we again right shift it, so that will give us the right shift to the 1, then we get a value of the 5 over here. That may be a bit difficult for you to understand, because we use a bit to shift over here. So if you want to shift a bit of the two bits, and if you want to shift the 2 bits, so you can shift bits left and right, and how many bits you want to shift. So if you just go and run it, will get a different value over there, right? So when you shift, actually when you're shifting the left, it increases your value, right? It increases the value that we have, and when we shift to the right hand, it will actually go and decrease the value, because we are shifting the bit to the right hand side, or adding a 0 to the front and on the right hand side, and from here we are adding the 0 to the your right hand side, we are adding a 0, and on the right shift we are adding a 0 to the left hand side. So that's why it's a bit difficult. Maybe you can just go and search for the bit and byte and how they shift, so you will try to understand more better. So I think that's for the assignment operator. These two may be just I'm giving you a brief overview over here. Don't get confused over here, and don't get deep into it. If you want to learn, you can just go and Google it more about it, but if you are just familiar with all of this, the basic concept, that should be fine.